Hey vlog. Oh my god, I look so washed out in this light. I think it's my blue kitchen. It always does my green skin dirty. So I actually, to break the fourth wall, I actually started this vlog at the weekend, and for some reason I was in such a bad mood and I didn't even re-look at the footage. I just have like a good feeling. I'm like, we're not doing that footage. But sometimes you try force it because I really wanted to do a YouTube video and like, bad vibes. Anyway, it's Monday today. I've got a really nice week this week, which I'm excited about. I just wrapped a season of my podcast that came out on Spotify, and whenever I'm doing that I'm always so busy. Now I will say I have started working with a researcher, Carl, so that has made my life a lot easier, but I'm still just like slammed. Like I'm still working most Sundays when I do have a podcast coming out on Monday, so I've just wrapped that, so that means I've got a little bit more time on my hands, and yeah, I'm excited for this week. So I'm off to London at the end of the week with Evan, and I've got a really exciting work event on Sunday. I'm going to an event with Fable, which are a really big publisher. So I'll show you. It's for this book called Save the Dead by Deirdre Grifa. Oh my god. Okay, so I think I'm about halfway through. It's kind of like no book I've ever read before, and any of my census divas, if you were into the whole census shit that came out a few weeks ago, this book you will absolutely love. So it is fiction, but Deirdre Grifa, I haven't read her other book, Ghost in a Throat, but this is like, as far as I can tell, a similar vibe. She kind of blurs the line between non-fiction and fiction. Kind of historical fiction. It's very hard to explain without reading it. I just went in blind, which I think is sometimes the best way to do it with books like this that are a bit more experimental. But essentially it is about a woman in Cork. I think it's like Cork Waterford border, and she stumbles upon the fact that the old Cork lunatic asylum is getting redeveloped into apartments, and she becomes obsessed with like knowing the story about the lunatic asylum, and she starts digging into the archives. Now it flips between like her, which she's just called the reader, she's kind of anonymous. It flips between her POV, which is more so her kind of going in. It's very like loose, it's kind of dreamlike almost. She's going into these archives, she's kind of looking, and then it will just like flip and you're in the point of view of this doctor that she's obsessed with, Dr. Lucia. Lucia or Lucia? I don't really know. In my mind it's Lucia, but like Irish Lucia probably. Lucia? Anyway, she becomes obsessed mostly with this doctor who works in the lunatic asylum. She was the only female doctor, and she starts to like look into her past through the national records, but that is told as if it's kind of like first person present tense as the doctor. So I think, like, from what I'm getting at it, it's almost showing how archivists and historians build stories from data. It's fascinating. Like, I'm pretty sure this must be real. Like, this is what I'm getting from it. What I'm getting from it is the reader is loosely based, like maybe somewhat semi-autobiographically, and the women that she's covering in this are real because there's photos in the books. Let me see if I can find some for you. And it says stuff like, say for this lady here, it says, Mary 23, asthmatic insanity, attempted to leave and wander through the country, violent on Sunday, tore blind from window, loudly all day, bit herself, going on very badly, has quite come to her senses, stout and strong, anxious to go home, recovered. And yeah, it's really fascinating. I don't know where this book is going to go, but I'm really enjoying it. And anyway, on Sunday we are having an event with Deirdre Grifa. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read this for a couple hours. Then I've got a nail appointment today. Very influencer, isn't it? To be like, it's such a busy day, I have to get my nails done. But I just have to get my nails done because like they are grown out, and I've got a wedding next week. And then later on I'm going to see the movie Obsession. So I thought that could be fun to vlog and do some immediate reactions. So let's spend Monday together. Okay, it is now time 11:58 and I've just finished the chapter. I did stop and scroll on my phone for a few minutes, okay, in between pages. It took me about an hour to read that. That shows my reading pace. I'm not that fast of a reader. I also just think that like reading is so subjective, like the speed of reading, because I'll say that like I'm not a fast reader because I guess I'm in that book space, and I see a lot of creators who are like reading 9, 10, 11 books a month. That's just not me, like, and I'm fine with that. I'm happy if I read 4 books a month. If I read a book a week, I'm delighted. And I think that I take the book in more then. I'm more careful with my reading. It also depends on what kinds of books you're reading. Like sometimes you'll just get like a month of like page turners and you'll fly through books, and that happens to me sometimes. But most of the time, a book a week, I'm doing good and I'm happy with that. So I'm on chapter 5 now, 231 pages. I'm quite hungry now. I think I'm gonna take a break to make some food. I'm gonna put some makeup on. I might try film a video and then I have to go into town. I was gonna go to the shop and buy some shit, but you know what? I just need to prioritize speed. So I'm on a cut at the moment. Like I haven't really tracked my calories in a long time, and I got weighed at the dentist. I know, because I'm getting my wisdom teeth out. So they weighed me for the anesthetic, I guess. I was the heaviest I'd ever been in my life. About 4 kilos over where I'd like to be. And I knew it. Like, you know, when you just know it, like I was like, I wasn't really looking at what I ate. I was probably drinking a bit too much wine. So anyway, I'm kind of trying to cut at the moment. I've already lost a few kilos, so very happy about that. Okay, I think this looks better. Jesus Christ. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm gonna eat some eggs, and I've been eating a lot of gym bro food because that's kind of what you have to do when you're doing a cut. And I have been cooking like mincemeat, like lean mincemeat with like taco seasoning, because I've been eating a lot of burrito bowls. They're just so good for like volume when you are like on a bit of a cut and you're trying to eat like, you know, high protein, low calorie, which is what I'm trying to do basically. So I'm gonna heat this up, scramble some eggs and have that. It's gonna be very quick, very basic, very gym bro. But you know what? It's kind of delish and it fills a hole. Look, it may not be that exciting, but it actually slaps. The gym bros did get it right with this. Now, the thing is, when you eat these meals, you can only do it for a short amount of time because like you will get sick of it. And that's why cuts, you can't do them forever. But I'm gonna do this cut up until like mid-June, I think, which is gonna bring me to 6 weeks. And then I'll go back up to my maintenance calories. And I've just been like training as usual, not really doing anything extra. Okay, let's get ready. And I'm gonna talk you through, well, I'm not gonna talk you through. I'm gonna go through my makeup products, but I'm gonna put it on screen because whenever I do this and speak, I just talk too much and it ends up to be 40 minutes long. So 3, 2, 1, cue the music. Bus. I actually didn't get any of my content filmed because I was rushing, and then I dropped my camera and I was like, that's a sign, let's not rush. So I'm gonna go get my nails done, getting something kind of simple done today, but I do have a big bag of Pure for Katie who does my nails because she's always so good, and I have to give this to people because I literally cannot get through some of the Pure. I don't know how the beauty girls do it. We're about to leave and go to Obsession. I'm excited. Quick outfit change, like very quick, literally 5 minutes. Hopefully this is good. I'll let you know what I think afterwards. I think it's like a bit of a psychological horror vibe. Oh hey, I forgot to update you last night on the movie. I do realise I was kind of tired. We just came home and ate some food and went to bed. Obsession was so good. Like, you're going to hear a lot about this movie, I think. It's just a really, really good horror. Like, horror is so hard to do really well, I think. Like, you know, I see a lot of horror sits around the middle range of like a good horror movie. I have a very like high bar for like a 5-star horror. Like 5-star horror for me is like The Shining. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, because it kind of goes beyond the genre. But this was pretty fucking close. This was, I gave this like a 4.5. The girl who plays, I think her name is Nina in the movie, she's incredible. Like, a lot of the best stuff in the movie, in my opinion, comes from her acting. Her physical acting in this is amazing. But what I really enjoyed about it was the script was really strong, the acting overall was brilliant, and the sound design was great, and there was no corniness, and those are things that usually can let down a movie, a horror movie specifically. I would compare Obsession, not in plot or anything, but how it made me feel, similar to It Follows, which I think is one of the best modern horror movies that have come out in like a long time. I only rewatched it recently with Evan because he hadn't seen it before, and he was like, that was so fucking good, and I was like, I know. Anyway, I'm just waiting now on Adam, so we're going to record an episode of The Docket. So and then I'm going to bring Elle out, and that's gonna be my Tuesday. Not really much done today, if I'm fucking honest. Oh, I did nearly finish Set the Dead by Dearna Grifa, but I did just film a video that was like my hopefuls for May, so why don't we run through them here in a little bit longer form. So as I said, you know, you've heard me talk about this, okay? I'm nearly finished. I've got 30 pages left. It's so good. It's amazing. I'm thinking 5 stars. Book club, we're doing All Fours by Miranda July. So this book has been on my list for so long, guys. Like, I bought this book at Hay Festival last year, a year ago. I think this came out last year though. Was it 2025, or it might have been a 2024 release? Anyway, I know this is about like a woman who is meant to be taking like a road trip, and then she goes, like, instead of going on the road trip, she like checks into a motel and has some sort of like transformative, incredible, life-changing, bizarre stay there. And I know it's like very controversial as well. Like, I know a lot of people get really mad about this book, and I like books like that. It's always on those weird girl book lists. I just feel like I have to read it. So that's what I'm reading next. So I'm hoping to finish, I will finish Set the Dead today, and then I'll start this and hopefully finish this over the weekend as well, on my trip to London. Then I'm gonna read Beloved by Toni Morrison. I love Toni Morrison. This is a classic of Southern Gothic literature. It's about a woman, as far as I know anyway, it's about a woman who escapes slavery in America's South and then is haunted by her dead child. I read The Bluest Eye last year, and it fucking destroyed me. Like, I still think about that book. I get emotional thinking about that book. It like, oh, like I actually, oh, it's such an amazing book. Toni Morrison's just amazing in general. Is she still alive? Wow, she got the Nobel Prize. But yeah, this won the Pulitzer, as far as I know, and everyone said it's amazing. And a lot of people I know have like read this in, not in school, but like in college. I guess I didn't do English or whatever, or literature or anything in college, so I didn't read shit in college other than like art history books, and I did read the Odyssey, okay, and the Iliad and the Aeneid, so that's kind of a flex. Not that I can remember shit from them, but yeah, I'm very excited about this. I think it's going to be really devastating. Next on my list is this. This is the power of a beautiful cover, okay? And people got really mad at me in my reel that when I said that Yesteryear was going to be like featured in aesthetic book stack pictures. People got mad at me because they were like, can we not reduce like reading to this and that? And I'm like, okay, reading has always been performative, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, performative doesn't always mean negative, but like there has always been a performative element to literature and to reading, okay? B, there has always been a visual element to reading as well, which is why we have graphic designers making fucking covers, okay? Because look at that. Oh my god. That is so beautiful. Do you know what it reminds me of? I mean, obviously Dennis Hopper, but like
I think that's obvious. It really reminds me of Lost Highway. The scene when Patricia Arquette, I'll be in the thing instead of that. The scene when Patricia Arquette like picks up that phone, this is that to me. Like the red wall, the lamp, the black dress, it's just so atmospheric, and just the design of this book cover, I don't know, it just like really speaks to me. Does this not evoke something to you? I just love it. Anyway, the story also sounds incredible. It's a new release. This isn't out till I think like this week actually, or maybe next week. It is about two friends, and they are kind of going through different periods of their marriage, I guess, like their respective marriages, should I say. One of them is married to the other one's brother, I think, and then the other one, I'm not really sure. I haven't read too much about it, but it just sounds great. And like I said it in my reel about this book, but like I'm just so not sick, but I'm over reading about, I'm 100% over about reading about people in their 20s. Okay? But I think writing about marriage, the difficulties of marriage, don't read into that. That's not me saying that I need that. I'm just saying like these are interesting topics that aren't written about a lot. Women in their 50s aren't written about a lot. And anytime I have read about like older women especially, I've just really enjoyed the stories. Like even in The Bee Sting, I loved reading what was the wife's name in that? Oh my god, you're probably screaming it at me. Anyway, I'll write it on screen. Her story was amazing. I loved it. So complicated, so heartbreaking. But yeah, I'm hoping to enjoy this too. If I read 3 more books between now and the end of May, like I'll be doing pretty fucking good. I very well could. I very well could. But I don't know. They're big enough as well. But if I get around to it, I would love to read Glyph by Ali Smith. A lot of people I know really enjoy this book. It's up for a Dublin Literature Award. I did some work with the Dublin Literature Award this year. I wasn't required to read all the books because like I only had a week to make the thing. Obviously I can't read like, every single book, but I do want to read them all because they all sound fucking amazing. But especially this one, I've just seen a lot about this and it sounds kind of like something I wouldn't usually be drawn to. But this, it sounds a little bit more poetic, a little bit more, I don't know, it kind of like sounds like childlike in a nice way. It is about kids. And yeah, it's a story of 2 young people and a horse called Glyph on the run from history as it takes a turn for the worse. I just kind of like the sound of that. Sounds experimental for me anyway. And I just know a lot of people have really enjoyed it. So I want to read Ali Smith. I've seen a lot of her books pop up. Even when I was in the secondhand bookstore the other week, I saw like her books. And I was like, oh, I do want to read that. But then I was like, I think I'm just going to start with this because I have it at home. Let's see if we like her writing style. So let me know if you have read, I mean, obviously you haven't read these 2 because they're not out yet. But if you've read either these or if you're in my book club and you're reading all 4s, do let me know. If you want to join my book club, it's free. It's on Fable. Like, I don't do it for money or anything. I literally just do it to read books with people online. And it's like low expectation, which is like the most important thing for me personally, because like there is that kind of like thing with book clubs, like online book clubs especially, where it's like, oh, we're all going to meet up or we're going to have a Zoom. And like, I don't know, with my work, I just feel like I do a lot of that. You know, making a lot of videos and stuff. So like hosting something monthly, I just know I wouldn't be excited about it. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just know that it would feel like a chore, and I didn't want a book club to feel like a chore for me. I literally just wanted to create a space where like people who like books like I like can get together and read 1 book a month. And you know, even just for my content, I'm like, at least we've all read this 1 book. And my book club is called the Unreliable Book Club, not because I'm unreliable. I think I'm actually pretty reliable, but it's because the narrators in our books are unreliable. So that's a trope in books I really like, where, you know, it's an unlikable lead character. I think it makes for a very interesting conversation, and I think it makes for quite contentious books, controversial themes, but that makes people talk. Anyway, I better go record my podcast. BRB. Podcast is recorded. I'm now making my dinner, and I realized, why the fuck am I not vlogging this shit? Because people like to see what I eat. or like what I cook, I guess. So as I said to you guys before, I'm on a bit of a cut at the moment, but I still like to eat what I want to eat, but I just make like more calorie efficient versions of that. So something that I've definitely vlogged it before, but this is my high protein, this sounds so TikTok, this is my high protein, low calorie Caesar dressing. But it is, guys, it fucking is. So I'm genius for this. Now I think I made this up, but like I'm sure someone else has done the same. You're gonna get low fat cottage cheese. Doesn't have to be low fat, because like, well, it just doesn't have to be, it's better for the calories basically. I wish it was full fat. This is great. I get this in my local supermarket, like my little shop. Graham's cottage cheese, low fat, has good macros. Okay, 18 grams of protein per 150 gram serving. Then I get, this is 5% fat Greek yogurt. You could use low fat. This is what I have at the moment. You could use 0% if you want to keep the fat even lower, but you know what I mean. So anyway, you're going to get 2 of them. I used, and I did weigh this out because I wanted to see the exact calories out of interest. I used 60 grams of the yogurt and I used 50 grams of the cottage cheese. You don't have to like cottage cheese to like this recipe because you're just going to blend it up anyway. So I know a lot of people, the reason they don't like cottage cheese is because they don't like the texture. This is going to be blended up. And then I did 2 anchovy fillets, because the anchovy fillet and the garlic, and 1 garlic cube, clove grated in, that's what gives it the Caesar vibe. Okay, so I just mixed all that up in my blender. Now I'm going to put a little bit of water in because that's a little bit thick. So no mayonnaise. It tastes like Caesar dressing, and I also put mixed herbs in it, which kind of makes it more like a ranch, but you know what I mean. You're not going to be able to tell the difference. And then I have just some baby jam, and I put parsley in here because I love it to be herby. I've got a chicken roasting in the oven, and I also have some sweet potato that I cooked a few days ago that I need to microwave and eat today. So stunning dinner, and I'll have leftovers. So delighted with myself, I have to say. Absolutely buzzing with myself. It started off as one of those nights where I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna eat, and I was like, oh, I should roast a whole chicken, and now I'm like, I cannot wait for that shit. And that is my dinner. I've got 120 grams of chicken, my salad, and some sweet potato. I'm probably gonna have more sweet potato than that because I have a few of them cooked. I just couldn't fit it on the plate. And I'm gonna have the rest of my salad dressing. I never eat my dinner in front of the TV. Only when I'm on my own. Like me and Evan never like eat at the TV. But like I hate sitting at the table when I'm on my own, so I'm gonna turn on some stuff. Let's see, let's do a taste test of my chicken. So good, cooked with my thermometer, so it's nice and juicy. Okay, this battery's gonna die, so I'll check in next time, whenever that may be. I don't know if I'm gonna put this in the vlog because I have such an aversion of people posting like crying videos or crying selfies. This book is what's done this to me. I never thought through reading this book that I would be in floods of tears, but here I am. What the fuck? I'm like bawling. That book was amazing. That book, I'm like, the book has changed my life. I need to go to sleep.